You can guide me.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, we can. Did you know that Gerrit has a hotline to Willeke Alberti?
Who
No, hotline.
yeah?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
he can call her on Facebook anytime, day and
Oh,
night.
yeah, that is very nice, that is.
No,
She's a very nice lady, so
Yeah,
she
she
is.
is. She is.
I
but
haven't
she,
seen Bilika now for many, many years now.
but she had a sad time. Her daughter had
Yes.
cancer.
Oh, her daughter had
It's
cancer,
Yes.
yeah?
gravely ill.
Oh, dear.
Very, very ill.
Oh, that is so bad, that is, you don't want that in your life,
No,
No,
I
These
know.
things do happen, but that is very sad.
Yeah.
A very lovely lady,
Yes.
Mm.
and it's such a
She's
shame. But,
popular in Holland.
I remember when she was young and very young, and hey, we were all very young once.
yeah,
I
yes.
remember it very well when I was young, especially in Holland.
In Holland,
Especially had,
everyone knows Willeke Alberti in Holland.
oh,
Yeah.
everybody knows Velika, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I thought she was doing a concert. Wasn't she doing a concert in the Carré?
yeah,
Yeah, she
klopt.
did. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I know that she was up to do a concert there and things like that. My goodness, that is such a long time ago and such beautiful memories, always. And, of the beautiful friends that I did have then, I mean, the ones that really welcomed me when I first came to Holland was Willie Alberti.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
And Mancanelis and
Michael.
the guitar player, very famous guitar player,
Eddie Christiani.
Eddie Christiani. That's him. And him, I used to work with Eddie Christiani many with the Ted DeBrack show.
The
Ted
Ted
de Braak,
Braak
yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
there
in
used to
Ted
be a big
Braak. Yeah.
program, the Ted DeBrack show, and I used to be on that.
Yes.
2 or 3 times I actually was on that program. And I had a lovely time.
And
Very professional people.
what did you
Mm.
do in the show, in the Ted Braak show? What was your role? Did you
What was
sing
that?
or
My
did
role.
yeah? Did you sing, or as a singer you came in on that program?
Yes, Scott Fitzgerald. Because many years ago, and I don't know if you can remember, we had a very big successful record with If I Had Words.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the Yvonne Akili, my friend.
And
And,
you
Yeah.
still see her?
and yeah, if I come to Holland, yes, we're very close family ties. With Patricia and her mom and dad, we were always very close together as families. Even although I'm in England, or even when I was living in Holland for nearly 9 years, I lived in
10
Rotterdam,
years. Okay.
and I
Nine
lived there.
years.
Yeah, and that was back in 82 when I first came,
And
1982.
and how was it living in Holland? Because you came from the UK and then
Yeah,
in another country. How did you like it? Did you?
yeah. Well,
What?
it was a surprise
Mm-hmm.
because I only came for 1 month. They were opening a big club in Rotterdam called the Studio 54, which was owned by the Van Rij brothers. And it was very famous at the time. And they asked me to come over for 1 month just to open the club, only for 1 month. And then I'll go back to England again. But I liked it so much and they loved my performance and my shows. They asked me to stay on for a year. So I
Wow.
thought, hey, why not? I'm enjoying this. I'm doing the live performances. And then I would see Yvonne and Patricia and Lee Towers and meet everybody. I met everybody in Holland at one point. And even before they were stars, like Gerard Joling. He was only a young boy when I was singing in Holland. And René Vroger. They weren't famous then. They were just, hey, they were young boys trying to do well in show business. And who would have thought how big stars they had become?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's right.
how did you meet Yvonne Akili?
Oh,
How did that come about?
no, that really came about. If I had words, I was doing some session work.
Mm-hmm.
Session work is doing commercials. a little bit like Jodie Piper. You know,
Okay.
Jodie does the backing singing on
Yeah.
commercials, and that's what I was doing, some of that at the time. And Yvonne was doing some TV commercials as well. But she was also, I think her boyfriend then was Steve Harley,
Okay.
you know, from
Cockney
Cockney
Rebel.
And so we're doing the sessions and stuff like that. And, you know, you would sort of say hello and stuff. But then all of a sudden somebody came up with If I Had Words. And they said to me one day, said, Scott, you know, we'll put a voice on this. And it was Yvonne's, and I could hear the voice, and very pleasant song. And he said to me, can you do something with it? You know, there's no music, but can you do what I do? I have a gift for ad-libbing, which means that I make things up as I go along, and they're from the top of my head. There is no music, it's just a feeling. And this is what I did in If I Had Words. And I did the end sections with a high falsetto voice, thinking that would be the right sound, because Yvonne's with the bottom of the choir. So this would sound more like gospel, like a gospel sound. And that's what it seemed to create, you know. And no, and then we met Yvonne, and of course, and then we became friends. And not knowing that If I Had Words was going to be successful, not at all. This was at the early stages. And then it became that the record company said, oh, we want to make a video. We would like to do, you know, promotions on this song. And we're thinking, yeah, it's a nice little song, but who knows, you know, it's different. And then they made the video in the church, you know, the video with all the
famous, the famous video.
And stuff. And you know, that's the first time I met Yvonne Keeley.
When you were shooting.
That's right, when we were shooting. Because, you know, when we're recording in the studio, you come in one day and you do make your recording, and then the next day that, you know, you don't see Yvonne. 2 weeks later, she comes in and does her recording, you know. It's a bit like that. Wow. Then the producers actually start to work on the production and, you know, putting the orchestra on and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That they actually did do with If I Had Words. And it was very exciting, actually, to make, because, I mean, within the record itself, there must have been about half of the Philharmonic Orchestra, the London Philharmonic Orchestra, were actually playing on the record. Yeah. You know, the piccolos, all the different sounds, were all the people from the oboes were all from the London Philharmonic Orchestra. And of course, the strange thing about it is, over here at this time, when they shot the video, and we looked at the video and said, that's so different. It's a very different concept.
Yeah.
You know, with the church and stuff, and the children and Yvonne and especially the guys, the musicians, and everybody was in it. You know, this was the wonderful thing. And such they seemed to catch the moment, so they did, when they shot the actual video for If I Had Words. Yeah, and the funny thing is, because the night before, you notice I'm wearing the Sonnenbrills in it, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Well, that was a mistake. The thing was that the night before I had been out at a party and my eyes were so red. And I said to my wife then, can I borrow your glasses? And I put them on, and that's the Sonnenbrills that I wear, only because my eyes were so red. And my wife actually said to me, be careful, because if this is successful, and I'm not thinking it's going to be successful.
Just enjoying it.
I'm just enjoying it. And so I took the Sonnenbrills and I wore them. And ever since, wherever I go, they say, Scott, can you put the Sonnenbrills on? Because nobody will recognize you at all. So there, isn't that strange?
You have to wear them.
But now I have to wear them. Well, when you get to our age, and not our age, I'm probably older than all of you anyway, that's for sure, you know, these days. But well, no, it was...
I'm catching up.
I've never actually talked about this, actually, this type of thing with If I Had Words and how it actually developed itself, you know. Yeah. But as I said, it really came from a little studio in London. Yeah. Somebody had an idea. So they did. And we would just happen to be there at that time. And the right type of voices as well that work well together. Because I always felt that myself and Yvonne's voices work very well together. It's the quality. She's an excellent singer. I mean, she really is, Yvonne.
Yeah.
Oh,
She is.
You know,
Yeah.
fair dues, you know. A very professional lady, you know. But mind you, she comes from a very professional family. You know, her papa, you know, is a great musician. And, of course, Patricia as well is a good singer, very good jazz singer too, you know. And
That's
Mama
right.
Pie, you know.
She sang.
And she sang as well, you know, so, so, you know. But anyway, we've become very close through the years, even since that time, all those years ago. We've always been friends.
Mm.
And of course, the kids grew up together as well. You know, her daughter, Yvonne's daughter, Roxy.
Well, Kai thinks of her as an aunt.
Yeah, and my son thinks of Yvonne as an aunt.
But you
Oh,
also,
an aunt, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
thinks of
Tante,
her
tante.
as an aunt. He
Yeah.
does. He always
But-
has.
but your son is born in the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah, my son.
Is
Yeah,
is he
Kai,
Dutch
yeah.
or Englishman?
Yeah, well, I don't. But the thing is with my son, as I said to you, he's taken over the mantle,
Okay.
my son now, because now he's the big disc jockey. You know, he writes all the songs, or not most of the songs for Eamon van Buren and all the very big DJs in the world.
Mm.
It's him that writes the songs. And so Aztec, that's what it is. Aztec, that's his logo. And he's doing awful well at the minute. He really is around the world and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Hi Fitzgerald, that is, and it's Aztec.
Yeah,
He
And from Aztec, is there one music piece that you like especially?
Is there any particular music that I like especially?
Yeah, from your son, which your favorite?
Yeah, there's one particular song, in actual fact, I love the one he's got at the moment. I think it's Don Diablo and Aztec, and Not Alone it's called.
Okay, well then we play it in
That
the
is
radio
so
show.
cool. I think that's really going to be a big hit, that one.
he also wrote for the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, yes, of course, for the Eurovision song. But don't forget, my son actually wrote for Sarah Alto
Monster.
in Finland, and he actually wrote Monsters.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
My son Kai wrote that then. And so he has his little moments in Eurovision. But mainly, it's the big festivals my son does. You know, the big one in Belgium, he's going to do that in the summertime. Tomorrowland.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
the big
that's
one.
a
He
big
does
one.
that one, those big festivals. And he goes to India and he does the big Indian festivals there as well, you know, with like a lot of the big DJs do, you know. But he's writing for most of them at the moment. All the big songs that the DJs are having, it's Kai that's writing them.
And when he wanted to participate for Eurovision, what was your first reaction then when you heard that he would?
When I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, you know. Well, really, you know, the writer of it was Julie Forsyth.
No, I mean when Kai went with Monsters, when he went to Eurovision.
With Kai?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was not long ago, but you've been already to Eurovision. So how was your reaction that he was going to Eurovision?
All right. Do you know something? I was very surprised because what he had done was because Sarah Alto over here was getting very famous because she was doing these talent shows.
Yeah.
And she was getting more famous. So the record company said to Kai, look, Kai, would you write some songs for Sarah and write with her? And he did. And the song that he wrote with her, with the Monsters, was one that he had written for her album. So they decided to actually take Monsters and put it in for the Eurovision Song Contest. And that's really how that became about. But, me, I was over the moon. Because I see it on television. I went, yeah. Because he used to send me up back in the day. You know, Eurovision wasn't as popular as what it is now. It's become absolutely amazingly popular. But then, when I had done it, it wasn't so popular then. You know, people were you know, and things when I actually did Eurovision. And he used to send me up a lot, you know. And then, of course, I laughed when I did see him sitting with the Finnish delegation. And by
But
the way,
now
he's born
you're
in Rotterdam. He keeps saying himself he's half Dutch. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's registered
Can
in
he speak
Rotterdam in the stunt house. Yeah.
Can he still speak Dutch?
He a klein beetje, but myself, I understand a little better.
Okay.
A klein beetje, that's it. You know,
It's
my
very
wife
much-
just said in the background there, as she does. That's my wife, Shireen, the best woman in the world, I tell you.
Yeah. well,
Unbelievable, this woman. Well, actually, she was a ballet dancer.
yeah, she was.
Yeah, and she used to work with Tom Jones and Engelbert and all these big people. And in Las Vegas, she used to work there as well. Yeah, with all the big people that used to be there in Caesar's Palace way back in the day. But yeah, oh God, she's something else, you know. Anyway,
But now you're participant in the Eurovision Song Contest. How did you get in?
oh yeah, well, that was a whole process. That was, in actual fact, it was Julie Forsyth who actually had written this song.
Okay.
And I'm a friend of Julie Forsyth's and Dominic's. I was always a friend of theirs back in the day. And she came to me one evening and said, "Look, I've got this song, and could you sing it for me? I want to put it into the Eurovision Song Contest, you know." And to tell you the truth, I just laughed a bit. I thought, you know how many songs go in for that? I said, there's 2,000 or 3,000 songs actually, and even good songs get lost, when there's such a lot of songs. But she said, no. Would you like to do the demo for me? Yeah. And I said, well, okay, well, I'll do that. She's a friend of mine. So we went to, Marcel Schimschimmer.
Marcel
yeah,
Schimschijmer, yeah.
Yeah, well, we went to
Schimschijmer.
Marcel's house, and I don't think people really know this, but it was Marcel that actually created the beginning of Go. That part, da 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 dum, da dee da dum, ba da 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 dum, da 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 dee. He created that part.
Yeah.
Because the original Go didn't sound like that. The original was more a little bit of piano at the beginning, but Marcel really umped it up, you know. He really made it a good, really good guy, good musician, I tell you that.
Yeah, and he has a famous brother, Edwin Schimschijmer. He's done a lot for Eurovision as well.
Oh, is that his
His
older
brother.
brother?
Yeah, his brother, yeah.
That's right, yeah. I think he's on my site as well, yeah. But so Marcel, we went into his front room, and then Julie gave me the text, and Marcel immediately went blah, 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 blah. So that inspired me. That gave me the insight, because I don't know how I'm going to sing this song. It's a new song. So I've got to sing it. And the only voice that was on it, on the original demo, was a girl's voice, which is Julie's voice, which was very different. So I had to think about it. As an actor as well, I had to really think about to perform this, because it's not a very nice song, Go Before You Break My Heart, you know. But anyway, when I looked at the lyric and I thought, we can do that. But then he did it again, and then he kept playing, and that really inspired me a lot. So we did it in 2 takes. We only did it twice, and that was it.
And who wrote the words?
Sorry?
Who wrote the words of the song?
There was written by
Lyrics.
Julie Forsyth.
The lyrics.
And the melody as well. But the Eurovision arrangement really was Marcel Schimschimmer. I just thought I'd let everybody know that, because I don't think a lot of people quite know this.
No.
That he had a lot to do with Go. Yeah, you can ask him. Yeah, he probably doesn't talk about it. He's got so much more to talk about, Marcel, you know?
Yeah. It's on YouTube. There's also a clip with Julie Forsyth on it, singing Go.
Yeah.
So she sang it also one time at least. The song, Go.
No, and that's right. Because of course it is. That's Julie's song, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I did it was my interpretation of it, of Julie's song. The way Julie, and obviously she's written things about your life and all that sort of stuff that you write in these songs. You know, that's what makes them so believable.
Yeah, that's true.
when they're written from the heart. And obviously, Julie wrote this one from the heart, you know. And but as I said, you know, yeah, no, why not? You know, it's you know, the song's played its part.
Yeah. Well, there's also another interpretation from a Russian singer. Do you know that? Philip Kirkorov?
Oh, Philippe, yes.
Yeah. He done a version as well. Did you see that?
Yeah, I have actually saw that one. Yeah, I do like Philippe. I like Philippe. I
Yeah.
always have. I remember Philippe 40 years ago. He was making pop music and all that sort of thing when Iron Curtain was up. He was very, very famous in Russia, you know, and Talons and all the different countries that Russia had at that time.
Yeah.
Philippe was very, very famous, you know, and he probably still is these days.
Yeah, but he's now banned in Ukraine, so
Oh,
because he's still has a very close connection to the Kremlin.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
well, that's
because
not
it's
good at the moment, anyway, is it? You know, it's not good for
no,
anybody or all of us.
it's difficult. So yeah,
Yeah, it's always a difficult moment with these things, isn't it? You know. But anyway, on a happier note, as I said, yeah, I like the way that Phil did it as well, Philippe. But I think there was a big campaign in Russia because he had done it very exactly the way I did it. So they actually said that it was like plagiarism or something like that. I cannot even say the word in American plagiarism. But you know, if the guy does it the way he does it and he does it beautifully, then who cares? You know, as long as somebody sings the song well.
yeah,
You know, really, to be honest, and things. But no, yeah, very interesting that, yeah.
yeah.
Gosh.
Well, let's go to 1988.
Yeah, let's have a word on that.
Let's go to Dublin.
Yes, my goodness.
Dublin, the fair city.
Yeah, no, there's a place, you know.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, I do love Dublin. I've been to Dublin many times before in my career and stuff like that because, you know, I did have a career before Eurovision, you know, if you know, with If I Had Words and all the other stuff that I had been doing in my country. And I remember making a film called Never Too Young to Rock back in the day. And we did the premiere in Dublin in Ireland.
Okay.
And yeah, oh, they were amazing. They're always amazing, the Irish. They have a special way about them, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
especially with the music too, is really something else.
I when I was going to Dublin also for the Eurovision, I was
Yeah.
also with a guy from Scotland who works at the ITV. And well, we were welcomed there in Ireland, and they said to me, well, they said, welcome, you're from Holland, welcome.
Yeah.
And then he was from the UK or from Scotland, and he said, well, welcome anyway.
Yeah, but that's the way they are. The Irish are very like that.
They're funny, yeah.
Yeah, they're very hospitable people,
Yeah.
you know, very much so.
Yeah.
But no, we had a whale of a time in Ireland. Had a lovely week there. So the food was amazing. The people were lovely. Even you know, we're going into the little cafes at night time after doing interviews and all day long. And then all of a sudden somebody would strike up the music and away they would be playing all this beautiful Irish music, you know.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
no, they looked after us very, very well there. So they did, yeah.
Yeah.
They
And it
even
was-
got me a birthday cake as well. It was my birthday at the time, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't in the Point Theatre then. It was in another venue in Dublin then that year. It was in the
Oh.
theatre, I think.
What, the one you went to, yeah?
No, I went to the Point Theatre.
Yeah, mine was the big stadium one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, actually, to tell you the truth. You know, I'm getting that old now, you know.
Yeah, I also been to Mill Street, but that was something different.
Oh, yeah. Did you have a pint of Guinness there, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did.
and probably a 2 pints of Guinness, you know.
and Baileys.
Ah,
A lot of
absolutely.
Baileys.
Yeah. How lovely. No, that's what
But,
it's all about. What?
How was the contact with the other participants in during this song contest?
I did participate with them from time to time. There was one time, I think about 5 years ago, I did a show with them. We did a show in London. We did one at the Café Royal in London. And then I did another one in Newcastle, which was Everybody was there then. Johnny Logan and all the main people that that participated in the Eurovision at that time. And that was the first time I'd done it in 25 years. And I do believe they all came along because I was there. Yeah. They said that, Scotty, we never thought you would come and do this. I said, well, I said, why not? I said, I've been left in the dark for 25 years. I said, though, I'll pop out. Yeah, I'll pop out and sort of say hello and sing a few songs and show you that I'm still alive, But what a lot of people don't understand is why when I stopped singing, and this is a very personal thing, the reason why I stopped singing is because my wife got cancer. Oh. And a lot of my work was international work, as you know. At that time, I started to do Finland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Iceland. I mean, it was all the time. And America, I was perpetually on the go. And it's when I sat down with my wife and when she did get cancer and we talked, and of course, there's one thing, you can have all the money in the world, which I did have, believe me. And when your partner says they need you, all of that, that all goes. That doesn't mean a damn thing, all that money and big houses and big cars and all that sort of stuff. It becomes unimportant, So that's what actually happened. But I thought, well I'll stop. Because I've got to look after her anyway, And so I looked after her. And of course, as time goes on, and then it went on for nearly 11 years, her treatment. And of course, after 11 years, I thought to myself, well, I've entertained and made people happy for 50 years. And I thought, I think maybe that's enough. Now I can be with my grandchildren and stuff like that. Now a lot of things that I would love to have done, but when you're the breadwinner, as we all know, that you have to put food on the table, so one has to go and work. And unfortunately, the work that I did as a singer, an international singer, is what I got known for. And so people would book me in all different countries, And that's when I thought, I mean, I even got a house right next to an airport and all that sort of stuff. It was right next to the airport so that I could come and go, But that wasn't enough. That wasn't good enough. And that's when I stopped, and I haven't really sung since. One day I'll do a little concert, I always think of doing a little concert of songs like from the friends that I've met in the past, like little songs from Andre Hazes I knew from the past. Little songs from Renee when he was a little boy, when he was young, and the songs that first made him a hit, like Winter in America and things like that. And Lee Towers, I know all these, Ben Kramer, Ronnie Tober, I mean, all these, and sing songs of theirs, but in a way that I would sing them. And that was always a little thought that maybe when I do finish this, who knows, I may even still do that.
That would be great.
Because that's how much I adored them. I really did adore these people. They were very special in my life. It's like you get moments in time in your life and things like that when you have to sit down and think, hey, how am I going to make this better? How's this going to be better? And what you're looking for in life anyway, But with me being perpetually for 50 years on a stage and traveling to places I never dreamed I could ever travel to. I mean, I never dreamed. I'm just, I come from a working class family. We didn't have lots of money and all that sort of stuff. We were just a family like every Dutch family, that goes out, and the guy that goes and drives the bus, the guy that goes and, and does a day's work for his family and stuff like that, and then come home at night and smile, and say, that's all I ever wanted to do, really. It was never really the big money or the big, like a lot of the big stars that went for, like Michael Jackson and Celine Dion and these people. Bless Celine Dion. We can talk about her in a minute. But that was never really my goal. For me, that was too much, too big. For me, it was very much too much. So what I did, I controlled my own career. So that was why I never made many records. Because most of the time I was live on a stage somewhere, doing performances to different nationalities of people. I mean, at one point in the audience, I never had one person that spoke English. But at the end of my show, I got a standing ovation and everybody screaming for more. So, don't tell me I don't know, you know.
No.
It's just the way you are with people, which is very important. And that's what I found in Africa as well when I was performing in Africa. You'll never believe what I've been performing, you know, all my life.
You've been to South Africa as well.
Sorry?
You've been to South Africa as well.
South Africa, yeah, all
Yeah.
down that way. Yeah, I did. And even on Victoria Falls, I used to do Kitwe. There's a little village called Kitwe, and they had one great big hotel there called the Hotel Edinburgh. And then they would fly me into Zambia and then fly me from Lusaka into Kitwe. And then I'd do the show and fly back to Zambia, do a show in Zambia, and then fly back to the UK again. Hey, you know.
Wow.
And this is all live. This is not tape. This is me with my music. I give the orchestra my music. You know, there's no playback and, you know, live music, live performance, and that's what I'm all about and things. But, yeah. Anyway, Eurovision 88, I'm telling you my deepest and thinnest thoughts and stuff like that, you know. But anyway, you know, back to my wife and why I stopped was, but the thing was, and then I made an album and I dedicated it to my wife, and I dedicated the song The Wind Beneath My Wings to my wife.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've got that on.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've heard
sure.
it. And love
And I
changes
dedicated that, and every single word I sing in that is to this lady.
Also, the song "Love Changes Everything."
Well, Love Changes Everything is
Michael Ball.
it came from a musical.
Yes, Michael Ball sang it.
That's right, from Michael Bowles, the musical that was written by, I think it was, Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh,
Yeah.
what's the name of that musical? Actually, Michael Ball starred in the musical. I remember seeing it. I did see him in it. But then I thought to myself, well, why? Actually, the funny thing was, my wife said to me, it's not really the type of song that I would put on an album. But she said to me, Scott, I used to be in musicals. I was in a musical called The Musical Hair.
Okay.
It's the American love rock musical, the very first rock musical ever. And I was in the original one of that. That's where I started my career, was in Hair. You know, when the moon is in the seventh sun,
Yeah.
Jupiter aligned with Mars, then let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. Anyway, I suppose you don't want to talk about that.
Ja, heerlijk.
But that's why we actually did Love Changes Everything. It was my wife that said to me, well, look, in the Netherlands, she said, nobody's heard of Love Changes Everything. I made this album 30 years ago, that album. It's only just been re-released. Yeah, 30 years ago, and it was only released 2 years ago. Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, that album. Yeah.
Beautiful voice.
Thank you. And the songs I chose on it as well were songs that I sang when I was a little boy, like Only You, the Platters.
Yeah, only you.
Yeah, you know, great
Right.
songs. And see, when I used to sing that in the Jordan, everybody used to sing it with me. I used to do the Jordan Festival sometimes. I loved it. I used to do it with Mark and Ailes. Yeah. Johnny Jordan, Klein, all your. I always remember that, and I always remember Johnny, sing a liedje for my darling. Oh, Johnny, I loved it. Do you know the funny thing? I still love Dutch music. It's a great favourite of mine, and I follow quite a lot of Dutch singers too that sing in Dutch. Yeah. I think it's so good. It's so uplifting, a lot of it.
But at Eurovision, how many points did you become from the Netherlands?
Sorry?
When you were on Eurovision,
Yeah.
how many points did you get from the Netherlands?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt me, that did.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, it really did. Do you know, I was thinking, as I'm looking at the votes, I'm thinking to myself, this is really honest. I'm thinking to myself, I know I'm going to get some votes from the Netherlands, you know what I mean? I'm really thinking that.
Yeah.
I'd worked in the Netherlands for years. I've lots of fans in the Netherlands. But in the end, they said, well, it's just the jury, you know. It wasn't us, it's the jury that do these things. and yeah,
then one-
what really
One
hurt me a bit
point.
that day.
1 point.
Yeah,
1
just
point.
1 point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if it would have, see, we would have made a draw, I would have won because I had more tens. We had the same amount of the draw, but I had one more 10. I would actually have won it on a draw. So it was even closer than close. And but
Very-
you know what?
very
It's just one
exciting.
of those things, you know. And the thing is, I remember the girl very well, Celine Dion, and she was a young kid then. I remember I was sort of saying one or two words because she couldn't speak any English at all, and she only spoke in French. And I knew a couple of little French words because I like the music of Jacques Brel.
but her voice
Oh,
was
one of my
like a,
heroes. That is my hero, is Jacques Brel. I sing a lot of Jacques Brel stuff and things like that as well.
Do
apart
you also know his Dutch songs? Because he also sung in Dutch a lot.
Yeah, he did Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yeah.
Yeah, he did the Port of Amsterdam. Yeah,
Nimmer Kittepa.
yeah. I'd like to hear. I've got a couple of albums of him with the French. Take me on it, and some translations and things like that of some of the texts. You know.
And do you have a favorite of his?
Yeah, my favorite is Jackie. Jackie.
Jackie.
In fact, I used to do Jackie many times on television. I used to do Jackie. In fact, I did Jackie one time in a big television program in the Netherlands, and I was on with the girl from ABBA, the blonde girl, and it was at the Rai. Yeah, we were at the Rai at the time, and then I sang Jackie with the Metropole Orchestra,
Oh,
and it was fabulous. Oh,
So
the
good,
orchestra was so good. Yeah. But Jackie, and I like the Port of Amsterdam and Ne me quitte pas if you go away.
Yeah.
On a summer day, then you might as well take the sun away. All
Yeah.
the birds
Yeah,
are
in Dutch it's called Laat me niet
sunshine.
alleen. Laat me niet alleen. Toe
Yeah,
vergeet de
oh
strijd.
yeah, you know, many of them. There's many,
Yeah.
you know, Next, you know, and all those type of songs that Jacques Brel wrote, you know, and in his style. But I love performing them. It's each of the songs are like little plays.
Yeah,
The
it's
texts are like little plays. They all mean something. It's not just a melody. It's so
no.
it's like a musical within a song.
Yeah, you live the song. The chagrin is really there.
Yeah.
You feel it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I love to do the Jacques Brel songs. And a lot of people say me famous for doing all this, you know, and me being a Scotsman as well, from
Yeah.
Scotland. I'm not even English.
You said to some of my colleagues that you wanted to participate for Scotland.
Oh, yeah, you know, well, if they ever did at one point, but I'm too old now. See, the thing is, you have to give it to the young people now, you know. They're the ones that want to make careers and things like that.
but Engelbert did it.
Well, yeah, you know, no, that's fair. He did.
Yeah.
He went and he did it. And Bonnie Tyler as well.
Bonnie Tyler also.
They came and did it and stuff like that. But I thought, no, not for me now, you know. But the thing is that, but back in '88, I mean, it was such a surprise, really. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm watching the voting, and I'm looking at you, Celine. She's looking at me too, because we're sort of, the voting's gone up and down between Switzerland and the United Kingdom at the time. And until the last two votes, and I'm thinking, look, I'm 14 points ahead at the last two votes. 14 points.
Yeah.
I mean, and 2 more votes to go. I'm thinking, oh, wow, actually, I think maybe this is possible. And all of a sudden, bang, that's okay. I'm still winning. Even to the last vote, I'm still winning. And then bang, she gets 7, 1 point over me. Oh, no. Oh my goodness. You know, after picking myself off the floor and dusting myself down.
Yeah.
Have you ever regret that you participated in the Eurovision Song Contest?
No, not at all. I really, dead honest, I loved it. I thought it was smashing. It's not something that I thought I would ever do, because if you remember, way back in the day when I first started, I was a rock singer. I was the front man with a rock band. You know, I wasn't thinking about the Eurovision Song Contest. I was thinking about Jimi Hendrix and Gary Moore and all these incredible musicians and things, you know, at that particular time. Not thinking about the Eurovision. I thought it was too tame, especially back in the day in my time. But as I said, now, I mean, it's something else. But no, I loved the Eurovision. I really did. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, they gave me a good time, the BBC and the Irish people. In fact, the little Irish stagehand, he came round to me about 2 votes before and said, Scott, get ready, because when you win, follow me, because everybody's going to be surrounding you. You're going to have thousands of people jumping on you and everything. But keep watching me, because you've got to sing the song again. And I actually said to the guy, but you don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah.
And guess what? Oh, no.
At 1 point. Oh.
By 1 point,
point.
it really was, you know, I sort of went dumb for a little while, you know. And then, as I said, the funny thing came over me. It was like a strange thing. It was like there was a little bird in my hand. It was a little bird, because at 1 point, all the cameras were all around me. You know, 14 points ahead and 2 votes to go. So all the cameras, hundreds of TV cameras. I mean, I was almost like this. You couldn't see it from where I'm sitting, but really it was. And then all of a sudden, at 1 point, everybody went, whoa. Everybody just disappeared. And I'm sitting there all on my own with Dominic and Julie and the other singer, Des. And I had this little bird in my hand. And all of a sudden, he just flew away. How strange. I thought, how strange things that come into your mind mentally at these type of moments. And it just flew away.
But
and then I got up, and then I went over to Celine, and I gave her a big hug. And I said to her, congratulations, in French.
But
I think you can see that on the internet. I'm giving her a big kiss.
And did
I'm
you
speaking to her in French.
But there were a lot of stars. Yeah, Gerald Lenormand, Celine Dion, Scott Fitzgerald, Gerard Joling.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but I loved it. You know, I really loved it with Gerard as well, because Gerard was a great friend of mine. He still is.
Yeah, but he was participating as well. So did you?
Yeah.
Did you do something together, or?
Yeah, we did. We met up. Yeah, I went to his party. He had a big Dutch party, and I gate crashed.
Yeah.
No, I went to see him because I knew Gerard very well. He was just starting his career.
Yeah, you told us
at that time.
Yeah.
And we spent some good times together, really lovely times. But we always have, you know, even when he was young and not famous, he used to always come and see my show, and so did René Froger always come and see my show when they were not famous. But they would come and talk to me, and you know, and I'd tell them about things, and then he'd watch the things how I'm performing, and then they would learn from me of how to do it from London. Because I was the only one to come from London and learn all the stuff that I learned to do in the theatre in London. And of course, with my knowledge and stuff like that and coming over, a lot of the guys used to come and see. Everybody did. Lee Towers, everybody. Ben Farmer.
But you have a really special connection with the Netherlands, Scott Fitzgerald, and also the Guys and Dolls, of course, Dominic and Julie.
I love them.
Yeah,
I loved them very well. My great friend, I loved him so much, Dominic.
Yeah,
I knew Dominic before Guys and Dolls, when we were 2 young boys in London trying to be famous, trying to find ways to be famous.
Yeah,
and we were very young then, you know.
Did you know how they become popular in the Netherlands? How they did they have contacts in the Netherlands, or
did they have contact in the Netherlands?
Yeah. How did their career started here?
How did their career start in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
The Guys and Dolls. Well, they got a group. Yeah, they had a couple of hits before, and then they got a great big hit with "You're My World."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that really set the Guys and Dolls up. It was #1 in the Netherlands for quite some time. And of course, it's very famous, and I love them singing it, you know. But I do miss my friend. I miss him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, you know, all his fans and stuff do too, you know. But I was very close to him when I was young. So that hurts even more, you know, when you're young and together and stuff like that. And
How is Julie now?
yeah, Julie's 65 now, I think.
65.
Yeah, she's 65 now. I don't see them too much now. I didn't see them then because I live in a different part of the country now. I live in Devon,
Devon.
which is a small place near Somerset. You
Yeah.
know, it's with the fish town. It's just a little fish town where I live. It's a little place called Brixham.
Okay.
And it's where all the fishermen coming, with all the fish, and that's how I get nice fish and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, lekker for the fish.
And
for
why
the
did
fish
you?
and chips.
Oh, but I tell you something, I miss the Dutch herring. Do you know the herring?
And
The
the
Dutch herring,
Zoutharing.
and the new one. Oh,
The
I love it.
Oh, lekker.
Oh, please.
Without onions.
I'm
Yeah.
away.
Without onions.
Oh, I love it with onions, yeah. Oh, I do. I enjoy it so much. I do still enjoy a lot of the Dutch food and stuff like that. I can taste it now, lupias and all that.
Yeah.
I love lupia and all that.
Well,
Used
why
to
did you
have
leave?
the
Why did you
tap,
leave
you know,
us?
and I used to love shawarmas.
Shawarma.
Shawarma.
Used to be fantastic. I used to get them at Andre Hazes. In
Yeah.
Amsterdam, I used to work at a place called the Lido.
And pannenkoeken.
Yeah, and the pannenkoeken, yeah. And I used to work at a place called the Lido, which was a big casino in Amsterdam. And when I was finished at night time, I used to go there, and Andre Hazard would meet me, and we would go there and we would eat shawarmas in the shawarma van. And the klovlook sauce, oh my goodness, the smell. The smell.
But why do you leave the Netherlands?
No, I know. The Netherlands, I love the Netherlands, really, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even my kids say that, oh, we could have stayed in the Netherlands. I say, but I have other things to do. You have to go home because, you know, I've got to go to these different countries now and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why they had to go to Britain. And also to represent the United Kingdom, of course. That's when I came back again at the Eurovision Song Contest in Dublin, you know. But, you know, but look at Ceylon. She did so well out of it in her way, you know. Her husband was a very good manager. I met Rene. A very lovely man he was, you know. And he was looking after Celine. And but look how famous she became, you know.
Celine had a voice from an age.
As I said to you before, that's too famous for me, that is, you know. People end up with mental illness and all that sort of stuff when it's so, you know, you only have to look at the facts of the big people who have ended up with mental illness through having too much fame and too much money. You know, just too much of everything, you know. I'd never wished that on myself. What I loved was going and picking my kids up from school.
Yes.
I could do.
That's important.
Yeah,
That's the
I
most
even did it
beautiful.
in Rotterdam as well. I used to go and pick my kids up from school, and nobody bothered me at all.
No.
No. I pick my kids up from school. You know, we go for a lupia or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, a little.
Did you follow the Eurovision at this
But
time?
yeah, is there anything else you want to hear about? I mean, I've told you about my life and my deep life and my. Actually, I did tell you why I stopped singing, and that's why I stopped. That's yeah.
Well, yeah, I have a question. Getty Kaspers, do you know her? From Dingedong.
Oh yeah, you know, remember I was telling you about this. You know, at that time back in the day, myself and my wife didn't really watch Eurovision that much. But funny enough, that year, that's right, the Shadows.
Yeah, the Shadows.
Yeah. And that year, I thought, no, we'll watch it this time. And all of a sudden we thought and went, hold on a minute. God, that's a really good song. That's really good. And we never voted in it before. And then we thought, we did. We voted for it to win at that time because it was brilliant. Oh, for that time, the song was absolutely perfect. And she was magnificent. She performed it beautifully, you know. They all did.
Yeah.
It worked so well, you know. And look at it today. Everybody still remembers it.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the catchiest songs in Eurovision. You know, for the melody, it's so catchy.
Yeah,
You know, once you hear it, you'll be singing. The milkman will be singing it, if you know what I mean. That means that everybody will be singing it then, you know.
Yeah. Well, she's also our guest on the 6th of May in our program, the special. Do you have perhaps a message for her?
Yes, all I can say to you is, as I send my love to you, of course, and of course being one of the Eurovision, one in the club, as we all are. You know, we can say this or that about Eurovision, but it's still Eurovision. And you get to represent your country, isn't it wonderful? And I think that's what you did so well, and you represented your country absolutely spot on. Number one.
Thank you. Nice. We will pass that on to her.
Yeah. She was definitely number one. No, number one.
Yeah. Well, about messages. I had a message for you. I don't know did you get it?
For who?
I got a message for you as well.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can play it here.
I'll just say
all right.
Thank you for paving the way for artists like us, and hope I hope your interview is great on Monday. Sending lots of love.
We can't hear it.
Sweet. She's so lovely. That's such a nice thing to say.
That's May Muller. She's from this year.
And she's from this year as well, isn't she? Yeah.
I met her.
Good luck to her. Really, I really mean that. Good luck to her.
Yeah.
I always say good luck to most of the people in Eurovision because it's a tough job anyway. You know?
Yeah.
But you know the most important thing about as a singer, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Really, just enjoy it. You know, it's such a wonderful thing. I mean, how I really enjoyed it was because I was standing on a big stage with a 70-piece symphony orchestra backing me, and I'm singing live. The singers are live. All the music is live. And when I was standing in the middle and singing Go, I thought I was in heaven. You hear all that music and all the voices coming in and you're singing there right on top of it all, you know. How beautiful. I so enjoyed it. I really, really did. It was better than a good bottle of Geneva.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying is as good as. I'm not saying, you know. No, I used to drink a lot at one point. I used to drink a lot of Roya Port.
Oh,
Roya Port.
I used to drink a lot of that. Oh, God, I used to drink a lot. But I used to play with the artist football team in Holland. They were called the Blue Nosen.
The Blauw. Okay.
And I used to play with them. We were the first ones to start it. It was the first ones to start it. We did a gig at the La Bastille. Is that the Rembrandt's plane? No, that's the Liza plane. La Bastille, we did the show there. Yeah. And then I'd never met Andre Hazes before, or Ron Brunsteder. I don't know if he's still famous, Ron. He used to do the quiz. He used to do television programs and stuff.
Yeah,
we had the party at La Bastille, and I was singing and everything, and we had a little party in this little cafe, and all of a sudden, it became the Blue Nosen.
Yeah.
And all the artists came together and all that. They were phoning all the artists to come and make a football team.
Yeah.
And it was so lovely because, you know, I was the only one in it that wasn't Dutch.
Well, almost.
Well, yeah. Well, my son claims it. He always claims dual thingy because he's registered at the Stadhuis in Rotterdam.
Yeah. Then
my son. And actually, he's always in Holland anyway. He's always in Rotterdam or in Amsterdam. Yeah. Doing something with music, always, or having a meeting with some people and whatever in the music business, you know. Yeah. But
well, this year the song contest is in the UK, in Liverpool. Is that a special year for you as well? Are you doing something during this Eurovision?
Yeah, at that time, there's a lot of artists up there right now. They're actually doing a lot of performances up there in the different places that are up in Liverpool, and there is a lot of them. I mean, it really is a place of music.
Liverpool. The pre-parties, yeah. You had the pre-party in Amsterdam, and Sunday there was a pre-party in London.
That's right. It was Sunday. Sunday it was the pre-party.
Sunday, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Well,
presented presented by Nicky French also.
Yeah. Are you going over to this one then? Are you going to Liverpool then?
No, we have a digital
Yeah.
accreditation.
Yeah.
So we do.
But yeah, Liverpool, yeah, that's where I really first started my career as well. When I was very young, I started in Liverpool. In fact, I used to sing in the Cavern Club where the Beatles used to sing.
Okay.
The original one. I was in the original one, not the new one. This was the old one. And it's really funny. In the old one, the dressing room, you got dressed in the toilet. But the only problem was in the toilet, the smell. We used to call it Jay's fluid. The smell for cleaning the toilet. It was a terrible smell back in the day. And also, it was a small place, the Cavern. It was just a little club, with little towers and stuff like that. Nobody thought it was going to be very good at anything like that.
And now the song contest is going to be in the MS Arena.
Yeah.
Very big venue.
The what?
A very big venue. It's very big.
Where are you? You've disappeared for a minute.
Okay. The venue, it's very big now. It's not a small theater or like it used to be.
Yeah, I think you can still hear me anyway, can't you?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's just that your photo's gone now for some reason. Shireen. Yeah. I think your photo's gone. But anyway, you can still hear me talking anyway.
Yeah, that's the most important. It's radio, so...
Yeah, no, it's good, yeah. No, but I used to work in Liverpool, as I said, that especially at the Cavern Club way back in the day. I think I was there in 1966, yeah. I was there I did 2 shows there in 1966. And who would have thought it became such a famous place, It's one of the most famous clubs in the world now because of the Beatles.
Yeah.
And many other people who actually performed. There was lots of famous people actually performed at the Cavern Club back in the day. But yeah, amazing. Yeah. Done amazing things with my career, different places around the world, meeting different people.
Yeah. I think Hans has a question because he raises his hand.
Yeah. If you were still singing, would you like to participate again in this kind of Eurovision, or is it too different?
No. I understand what you're saying. I think really for me, it's my age as well. Okay, it might be a bit exciting. You say, that I would go back and sing, but I would never be as good as what I was when I was young. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
As a singer, you lose a lot of power when you're old and stuff like that, and you lose a lot of momentum. When you're young, you have that energy, that power, that, whoa, you're out there doing it, And, it's such a big competition, you wouldn't want to let yourself down in any way. So
maybe...
Although it would have been nice to do it with Yvonne Keely, wouldn't it have?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
I say yes.
To do, we can do it for the Netherlands next year.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Well, you get in touch with Yvonne Keely and you say, Scott Fitzgerald said that we could do the Eurovision Song Contest next year as Scott Fitzgerald and Yvonne Keely.
Yeah, because there'll probably be a national final next year.
Yeah.
Because did you hear about the trouble in the Netherlands with the singers?
No, what happened?
Well, there were 2 singers and they were going to a pre-party in Madrid. And they were singing really, really off key.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, and they're really finished off now by the media. It's terrible for them, and they're blamed that. And then they had to do it again in the Netherlands, and they said, "Well, second chance," and they blew it again. So,
oh dear.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Well, it's sad, if you can't do the job, you shouldn't be in a position to do it. I know it sounds terrible, but that's the way it is. You've got to be good at what you do to do this competition.
That's right.
You know, you have to get people that are professional. I mean, look at Ben Kramer, you know, such a professional man. I mean,
Yeah.
goodness gracious. And a great singer.
Yes.
You know, even Ben Kramer could actually go and do it. And I think Ben's a little bit older than me. But also, he's a lovely friend of mine as well, Ben Kramer.
Yeah, I met him once as well in here in.
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
lovely guy. He really is. You know, he's just such a professional guy, you know,
Yeah,
He
he
takes
was
very
he was,
serious. And that's the way you should take it, you know.
yeah, he was on TV last night.
Oh, people are paying you money to entertain them. So that's what you're there for, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, he dresses beautiful and all that because he's dressing for the audience. You know,
Yeah,
when he dresses like that.
because he was on TV yesterday. He
Ah.
talked about being in the musical Phantom of the Opera,
Yeah,
and- and then he told a wonderful story that there was one man going to the musical, and then he saw Ben Kramer performing. He said, "Oh no, I don't want that. I don't want to go." And the lady behind the counter said, "Well, go anyway. Try it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, well, in the break you can leave again, and then
Yeah.
you don't have to pay." So then he went in and he stayed the whole musical, and then afterwards he wrote a letter to Ben Kramer saying, "I'm so sorry that I said this, but
Yeah.
you're really great, and it was superb, and yeah."
Oh yeah, absolutely. I give him all credit, Ben. You know, he's a
Yeah.
real professional guy. You know, he's a real professional singer.
Yeah.
You know, and I
But
think Ben's done the Eurovision twice now, isn't it?
once.
Yeah,
No, once with the
Once.
Oude Muzikant.
I always thought he did it twice for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not.
Well, he's been involved with the Eurovision, I think.
Oh right, yeah, he probably has in lots of ways and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
Well, my young friends, I'm going to love you and leave you and go and have
Yeah.
my dinner now. I've got to have my dinner.
Yeah. Well, thank you
Have
so
a good
much.
dinner.
It was
Have you got everything that you need now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, look, if there's anything you do need, just give me a shout. You know what I am.
Yeah. Well,
We've got your number.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I am,
That's
and now I
true.
know how to do this.
Yeah. But it was lovely talking to you, and give all our love to your son and your wife.
I
Yeah.
can do that. And you
And
look, you sent. Yeah, go on.
Thank you, wife, for helping us for that we could have this conversation.
Absolutely, I shall definitely thank her with a nice cup of coffee. I'm going to make her.
Good.
And all I can say is all my friends in the Netherlands, and as many friends that I have in the Netherlands that I haven't seen for a long time. Some are alive and some are dead, you know. In fact, a lot of them are. But the point is, I just say that I had a wonderful time living in the Netherlands, and I wish all the people of the Netherlands a wonderful day. And a lovely Eurovision as well, if you're really into Eurovision. I hope that everybody really does well and, you know, and keeps it going, keeps Eurovision good, because it's looking good at the minute. So I'll just say goodbye and dag, tot ziens.
Tot ziens.
Thank you very
Bedankt.
much.
Tot ziens, dag.
Dag. Goodbye.
Bye, darlings. You are so lovely. Even niet. Ja, we did it. Actually did do it. Really good.
We moeten ook maar even uitzetten,
No,
denk ik.
Zo.
Ja, mooi. Hij is weg.
Nou,
Nou, wacht, ik zal hem even stopzetten.
Ja.